case 2 is -8 minus 6 over 2.
Oh, okay.
You have to treat it as if there's parentheses in the numerator, meaning you have to do that part first, then you divide by 2. So you have to first do this manipulation of the numbers and then divide by 2.
Okay.
There. All right. So can you give me the final answers here whenever you're ready?
Yeah. Case 1 equals 1, case 2 equals 7.
Okay, I think we got some sign errors here. So -8 plus 6.
Oh, wait, yeah. Case 1 equals -1.
Good.
Case 2 would be positive, all right? Positive 7.
It's like you owe someone $8 and then you still owe them $6 more. How much do you owe them?
14, but
14. So we consider that negative when you owe, if you want to think of it in terms of money.
Yeah.
So this is -7.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So we'll chalk it up to it's Sunday, and you're not excited about math at the moment. Just to summarize here, again, this is like it's a recipe. It's the process. Like, okay, you label A, B, and C. Okay, you write the formula. Because if you don't write it, how do you know what to do with it? You substitute the numbers in. You make sure that the part under the square root is correct, because that's the hardest part. And we'll do some more sophisticated examples, but that is it. Take the square root if you can, and then you got a case 1 and case 2. But there's 5, 6 things here to be able to work through.
Yeah.
All right. So let's look at another example here. Let's say it's x squared minus 3x minus 4. All right. Can you give me the values of A, B, and C?
Yeah. A is 1, B is -3, C is -4.
Good. So step 1 complete. Write the formula minus B plus or minus the square root B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. And then from here, you substitute in the numbers. So this time it's really, really important that you do it in parentheses. It's negative parentheses -3, because B is -3, plus or minus. Even though you're squaring it, still put it in parentheses, because you're squaring -3, not 3, and then negating it. Right. All over 2 times A, which is 1. Okay. So I'd like you to very carefully do the part inside the root. You don't have to take the square root of it, just do the part inside the square root, please.
Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
-3 squared. You can't square a minus sign, right?
So here's what it means literally. Take -3 and multiply it by itself.
Oh, okay. So
does that help?
Positive.
Yes.
Okay.
That's very important. But it's different than squaring a number and then negating it. So you have to be very careful with that. I'm going to just step away for 30 seconds here. I'm just going to grab my copy. Be right back.
All right, I got you.
All right, I am back. Do you have a result for me or a question?
Yeah, -5.
So did you get 9? You got 9 for this first part. You have to multiply first. Okay, so ignore the subtraction for the moment. Okay, 4 times 1 times -4 is -16.
Mhm.
So this is literally 9 minus -16.
And then the minuses combine to a positive.
Yes. Now, now your answer was kind of correct because it is it ends up being the square root of that, which is the square root of 25,
Oh, okay.
which is 5. And I'm not sure. I just wanted the part under the root, but if you went all the way and got 5, that's fine. All right. We're gonna do more, so it's not like you're gonna, be on an island here.
All right.
But let's keep going here. So it's minus parentheses -3. So the parentheses are dropped when there's something outside here that you can manipulate in. So the two negatives make a positive. So it's 3 plus or minus the square root of 25 over 2. And just like we saw in the last problem, if you can take the square root, you do that. Okay. Now you got to write your case 1, case 2. 3 plus 5 divided by 2, 3 minus 5 divided by 2. Will you give that a shot for us, 3, or a shot? Give that a shot, please.
Yeah. X equals 4, X equals -1.
Very good. Okay. All right. So here is one for you to try on your own. Actually, I'll write it out here. Meaning, again, like you're going to ask me questions. If you're not sure, it's just a chance for you to see where you're at before we go to a more difficult problem here.
Okay.
Please ask if you have questions along the way, and let me know what you come up with.
All right. I think I'm sort of lost here.
Okay. What is your value of A, B, and C?
1, -5, and -14.
Okay. All right. Can you tell me the quadratic formula?
Yeah. Like the actual, or
Yeah, give me the actual formula. Let's just start with that.
-b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac.
Anything else?
And then divided by 2a.
Good. Okay. All right. So your next line should look something like the following. You're substituting for B, parentheses -5 squared, minus 4 times 1 times -14. Okay. Over 2 times 1. Does your next line or somewhere on your paper resemble this?
No.
Okay. Well, take a look here. This really is the primary step of this.
I see where I went wrong.
Can you, do you mind sharing what it is that you
Yeah.
did different than this?
I accidentally, instead of writing -4, I wrote -14 because I saw the C.
And
Yeah,
then you got,
I-
and then you got something that didn't work out very
Yeah.
nicely.
Yeah.
Okay, now, I mean, full disclosure, they're not going to all work out nicely. In fact,
Right.
that's the next case is
Mhm.
ones that don't. But for now, I'm trying to give you ones that sort of work out nice. So, multiplying, I don't remember, you think you said no calculator here, but you've got 25 and then ends up being plus 4 times 14, which is 56.
Mhm.
You end up getting the square root of 81.
Okay.
Will you finish the problem off from
Yeah.
here for us?
Mhm. X equals -4, X equals -5.
Small error there. What did you get for the square root of 81?
9.
So -1 plus or minus 9 over 2. So we got your case one, -1 plus 9 over 2. Wait, you said 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
-4.
So sorry, the thing I'm looking at must have an error in it, but
-4 and -5.
oh, I see the mistake here. I put the wrong number in for B.
Oh shoot. It
That's
should be
on
5.
that's on me. -5. Yeah, that's on me here.
Right.
That's really bad. So it's 6. So what you did is correct. It's just that I gave you the completely wrong number. So I'm sorry, 5. What am I
You're
doing?
good.
What am I doing? Yeah, I do make mistakes. So if you ever see something you're like, hey, that doesn't look right, just say, hey Matthew, that doesn't look right.
I got you. Okay, hold on. Let me okay, so 5 plus 9 over 2, 5 minus 9 over 2. X equals 7, X equals -2.
Yes, that's correct. Very good. Okay, so again, like really this part under the root's the most important part. So we're just going to focus on that for a few problems here. So let me put another problem in front of you. X squared minus 4x plus 4. All I want you to calculate is b squared minus 4 AC for this one. Nothing more, just b squared minus 4 AC, please.
All right, I got it.
What is your final answer?
36
Okay, what is your value of b?
-4.
Minus 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times 4. Do you have this written down?
Yeah,
Okay, so let's go through this. Minus 4 squared is 16.
right.
And then you multiply 4 times 1 times 4. What is that?
Minus or 16.
16. 16 minus 16 is
0.
0.
I had two negatives there.
You wrote negative 16?
No, I had a negative. I accidentally, I had 16 minus 16.
Yeah, so it's a little awkward. You really want to do just
Yeah.
this part and
Okay,
then
shoot.
subtract. Try not
So
to
I have a question.
of course.
Does that minus sign right by the 4, you see to the left of the 4?
Yes.
Does that minus sign affect that 4?
It can like you have two options. What I'm suggesting is you multiply the numbers without that and then deal with it, or you can treat it like a -4, in which case you'd put a plus here.
All right.
You have to decide. Like the more math you take, the more options you get. So it's like whatever you feel like is more consistent with what you like, basically.
Got it.
Okay, so let's do another one of these where I just have you calculate that part there. We'll make it just a tiny bit more difficult here. 2m squared. Sorry, I don't mean to switch the variables on you. 2x squared plus 2x minus 12 equals 0. Again, just calculate that b squared minus 4ac for us, please. How are you doing on this one?
I got it.
What is your answer?
Negative 100.
So it is 100, but it is positive. So let's take a look
Positive.
at that.
Shoot. Okay. That's
2
what I thought.
squared
They
minus
come
4
together. Yeah.
times 2 times minus 12. And this again, it's one of those where you got to decide, am I going to look at this as -4? So if you look at it as -4, let's just break it apart here. If you look at this as -4, here's how your answer changes. It becomes 4 plus whatever the result of that is, which in this case is 48. Okay, that's option one. If you want to leave it, which is fine, it's totally allowed, 4 minus, and then it's 4 times 2 times minus 12, which is minus 48.
Wait, do you mean 96?
What I'm saying is you get the exact, sorry, 96. Yes, sorry, that's really bad. Negative 96. Yes,
Okay, gotcha.
I was focusing on something else. So the point is though, you get either way, you're going to get 4 plus 96. So which way do you want to do it?
I like doing the way where I'm just not going to look at the negative until the end.
So it's basically this way on the right, then we'll say.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's totally fine. That works. You know, and I'm choosing numbers here that will have, you know, this situation where you're going to have some negatives to think about and deal with.
I got you.
All right. So here's another one. Again, just the b squared minus 4ac part.
I have my answer.
Okay, what did you get?
49.
49, very good. Okay, so let's carry this one through.
All right.
So so again, that quadratic formula, and I'm showing you this way because you can instead of writing all the numbers out, you can first do this part, and then what you get there is going to go under the root.
Mhm.
Okay, and that might be a better strategy for you. You know, you have to decide what you like. So see how that number goes in under the root,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to fill in the rest of the numbers here. Okay. So it's b is -3, so it's minus a -3 plus or minus the square root of 49 over 2 times 2, like that.
Mhm.
So we're not in any way done, but maybe doing, little pieces here and there is better. So it's 3 plus or minus 7 over 4. Okay. So this time your case 1, case 2, one of them is going to be a fraction, 3 plus 7 over 4, 3 minus 7 over 4. So the one on the left is, 10 divided by 4, which is 5 over 2. And the one on the right is -4 divided by 4, which is -1.
Got it.
Okay, so let's do one more here. All right, so again, just do the b squared minus 4ac for this one, please. First, let me know what you come up with.
I got it.
Okay, what did you come up with?
169.
Yes, very good. So I want you to finish off the rest of this formula. I'll help here though. It's minus b plus or minus the square root of 169 over 4. So just carry that out to the rest of the way,
Okay.
and then we'll look at some more difficult problems here in a moment.
Uh, 5 over 2 and then -4.
Let me check here. Just looking at something else. Yes, that is correct. Very good. All right. So we're going to go back to one of the problems that you sent over on page 7. There is sometimes that much build up to doing a problem, on your tester quiz. Like, we got to really step into it nicely. So let me actually snip that one in. Had something else snipped. Okay. So we spent some time last time we met talking about like identification, and like, just for now, just assume that this is a quadratic formula. We may or may not get into that. A is 1, B is 7, and C is 3.
Mhm.
Okay, so now when I write out the quadratic formula, -7 plus or minus the square root of 7 squared minus 4 times 1 times 3, inside parentheses now, I end up getting the square root of 37. What do you know, if anything, about the square root of 37?
That's not a real thing, or it doesn't come out to a regular number, or like.
Yeah, it's not that's a good way of putting it. It does not work out nicely, is the way I sort of phrase it. And that's really frustrating for a student, because like, well, what do I do? What do I do? And it's the answer is, well, you do nothing. You actually leave it like this. There's nothing more to do on this problem. Now, your instructor may want you to divide each of the numbers by 2. Okay, so the way this looks, 7 over 2 plus or minus the square root of 37 over 2. All right. That's perhaps another way that you might be asked to do this. Now, keep in mind, this 2 can in no way affect this number on the inside. All right.
Mhm.
So just you're going to write them both over 2, and that's your answer.
Right.
Some teachers want you to separate it so that it looks more like this: 7 over 2 plus square root of 37 over 2, 7 over 2 minus square root of 37 over 2. I doesn't matter to me. I'd be happy if a student got to here, because that's sufficient. But you
Right.
know what your teacher's looking for. Keep that in mind here.
Gotcha.
All right. So new problem here. Let's say it's x squared equals 3x plus 3. So I'm gonna throw a couple of new wrinkles at you.
Okay.
Every problem we've been doing up until now has been equal to 0. If you hadn't maybe even thought about it or noticed, but equals 0, and so
Yeah.
on. Okay. Well, you should make this one equal 0. So my question to you is how would you do that? How would you make this equal to 0?
Move everything over to one side.
Yes, and we're going to move everything left, because you want x squared to be positive. X squared minus 3x minus 3 equals 0. So if you get a problem and it's not equal to 0, guess what? You make it equal to 0. No mysteries there. All right. So I again want you to find the b squared minus 4ac for us,
Okay.
please.
Does this just, or does this come out to -3?
Try one. So I said in the beginning, like, it's good to do it 2 times the calculation here, because it's really critical. Do it another time. There is a mistake. So you're looking for
Oh, I see it. Hold on. Is it 21?
it is 21. Very good.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now, your choice, though. I mean, you can put all the numbers, and you just got to make sure you get that part right. Minus a -3 for the minus b, plus or minus the square root of 21 over 2 times 1. All right. So from here, there's not a ton left to do. It's 3 plus or minus the square root of 21 over 2. You're effectively done for me. Like, I would say you're totally done. There's not anything else to do in this problem, but just that's one of those things you got to be careful of with
Your teacher.
with your teacher? Like, how do they want their answers? Because it's what they want. It's not what Matthew wants, because Matthew's not giving you a grade on this. All right. Any questions on that?
No.
Okay, so let me give you one to try on your own here from start to finish. It's of the same flavor of the ones we've been doing. Basically, you're going to get a square root that doesn't reduce, and the numbers are reasonable here. So, of course, ask questions if you have any issues along the way.
All right, I think I got it.
All right, let me get where I was on the looking for some more problems for us. What is your final answer?
-1 plus or minus the square root of 5 divided by 2.
You got it. Very good. Okay, now there are more examples than this, but I want to, for the last 10 minutes here, go into a different topic to do as
All
much
right.
as we can on this. So we're kind of transitioning a lot here. So it would ask you to factor a problem like this: 3x squared plus 7x plus 2. Your instructor calls it guess and check. I
Yeah,
guess first question is, did you have any of these on Friday?
we had one guess and check. Yeah.
Okay, let's not do that then.
All right.
Did you have you said you had completing the square on Friday. Did you have a GCF factoring on Friday?
Yeah, we had a GCF factoring.
Okay. Did you have a square root strategy?
I think so. Yes, we did on the second page.
Okay. So, I mean, it sounds like you've had everything though. Did you have any absolute values or solving?
We may not. We maybe had an absolute value. Can I
Okay.
see one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry for just grabbing a snip here.
You're good.
Okay. Something like this with the vertical bars. That's what you're.
Yes, but I actually do need, like, there
Need some
wasn't
help on this.
Yeah.
Okay. Hang it before we do that though, because we can only, if you've already seen it on the test, I don't want to, they're not likely to retest in the same thing.
No, but I think there's I was talking to him this weekend and he did give me like one practice problem, and he said there's going to be a little bit more absolute graphing or doing absolute.
Is
And
there
then
graphing though?
apparently he said that there was some graphing for doing absolute.
Oh, let's do it then. Let's do
Okay.
that.
And I
that's
actually
better.
do have a practice problem.
Sure. Do you,
Yeah,
can you
I have it right
quickly?
here. I'll tell it to you.
Okay,
Okay,
ready?
this is just what f of x equals 2, and then the absolute value sign.
Mhm.
X plus 1, and then the end of that, and then minus 4.
Like this?
Yeah.
Great. That's perfect. Okay. All right. First things here to do. A x minus h plus k. This is the standard form. Okay, now you don't necessarily need to know this. You just need to know what a, h, and k are in this. Okay. Now k is the easiest one. K literally is whatever number is outside the absolute value.
Okay.
Okay. A is also in that same, but sometimes there is no, A is not written. Sometimes it's 1, but A is 2.
Okay.
H is the most difficult one for students to remember because it is not the value that's there. It's the opposite of that value.
So -1.
Yes. Okay. So we'll come back to this one, but I want you got, just like the ABC, you have to be able to identify what the values are. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let's try another one here. Let's say I give you f of x equals 3 absolute value x minus 4 plus 5 a, h, and k. A, h, and k.
Um, 3, 4, 5.
You got it. Okay. Let's try another one here.
All right.
Okay. A, h, and k, please.
-1, -2, -3.
You got it. Okay. Now they won't be patterned that well, but I did
Yeah.
want to. All right. Now the key here is you start with this point right there. Okay.
Okay.
You go to your graph and you put a dot at h comma k. H comes before k, x comes before y. I don't know why it's hk. That's what it is. So
Okay.
-2, -3. There's my dot. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Now there's two approaches you can take from here. One is to make a table. The other is to use the value of a. I would recommend using the value of a. Okay, so
All right.
a right here is the slope from that point to the right. Okay, so -1 is really -1 over 1, which is down 1, right 1.
Right. Okay.
So we're going down 1, right 1 from that point. Down 1, right 1.
Down 1, right 1.
Okay, now by symmetry, you've got to go the other, they've got to pair up going the other way. So this is your graph.
I see.
Okay, so we're going to do as many as we can in the next 5 minutes here. Any questions on what I've done so far?
No, not really. That makes
Okay,
sense.
so I'm going to grab another one here for us to look at. We'll get back to your problem. Okay, so where should I put my first point on this graph? Where should I put my first?
-4. The H
What's the h value?
for the 4.
And
The
I need
5.
2 points.
The
5.
4
Yeah,
and the
4, 4.
5.
Yeah. So there it is. Okay. The next thing, it's the shortcut here. You look at this number, this 3, that's your slope when you're going to the right. So
Okay.
3 is really 3
3.
divided by 1, 3 up 1,
Rise over right.
rise or run. So you go from that point up 3, 1, 2, 3, boom. Okay, there's the other one.
Mhm.
There's the other one. Okay. Now by symmetry, you go left and you get the other ones.
Got it.
Now, your instructor wants you to label these. I've not labeled them. So keep
Right
that
here.
in mind, but you should label them and so on. Okay. Let me go back and grab your problem here. Okay. Where do I plot the first point for this one?
-1, -4.
Okay. So there's my first point. Now, tell me where to go from there based on this value.
Up to over 1.
Okay, so right there, do it again. And then by symmetry,
Over 1.
yes. Label those points, okay? Okay, now your instructor gave you one to talk about here. So let's have you look at that real quick. Give me the value of A, H, and K, please.
Okay. One and a half minus 2, 4.
Very good. So you start at the -2, 4 point.
Mhm.
Okay, now tell me what to do from there.
Go up 1 and to the right 2.
Okay,
And then keep on doing that.
good.
And then do the same thing. Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, now with the very little time we have left here, we're going to talk quickly about domain and range.
Okay.
So for domain, it's always all real numbers.
Yeah.
However you guys are doing that. For
Yep.
range, there's two possibilities, and it depends whether it opens up like it does here. So if it
Okay.
opens up, it's the it's the K value to infinity.
Oh.
So in your problem, it would be bracket 4 to infinity. Let's not talk about why this is. Let's just learn how to do it for now. Okay.
Okay.
We can do that at another time. When it opens up, it's this way. Okay. So let's go look at one more that opens up. This one opens up. Okay.
Mhm.
So the range is the K value. Oh, you're not doing it this way. I'm sorry. You're doing set notation.
Yeah.
Sorry,
You're
forgot.
good.
So you have to do this y such that y is an element of the real numbers. Just learn how
Yeah.
to do that. Y greater than or equal to K.
Which in this case, it would be y is greater than or equal to -2.
The K value.
Or +4.
Yes.
Got it.
And if you want to shortcut that here, you can just write y greater than or equal to -4. I mean, you should write the full thing for your test, but for us, just trying to get this down, that's that. Now, if it opens, there's another one opens up. This is y greater than or equal to 5 for the range.
Okay. Right.
If it opens down, it's y less than or equal to, but it's still the K value.
Got it. So for the one that my teacher gave me, can you go back to that one? Since it's opening up, it's greater than or less than, right?
Greater than or equal to
Got it.
-4. Yeah.
All right.
All right. So we are out of time here for